just dives into the topic of today, which is the $100 Startup by Chris Gillespie. First of all, I got this wonderful message. I mean, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. Well, you'll see. I'm going to read it to you. This is a review and mailbag. Hey, Glendon. First off, I would like to say thank you for all the information you have been putting out there. It's been a godsend to me. Let me tell you why. I am a 44-year-old man. I lost my job. And yes, I'm one of those people who thought education was everything. Even though I saw people who were dumber than a bag of wet hair, but were bringing home more money than I can imagine. I was super angry at the world. So after 11 months of not working and living off my savings, my brother told me about his 29-year-old friend. This kid does not know anything, but he can hustle. And like you, he can sell. Last year, he brought home over $100K from his eBay sales alone. Talk about going from being all woe is me to the world hates me to all hell no. I was looking at Storage Wars, and yes, I've seen your videos on the show already. And I told myself, I should see what else online. You're the first person I came across. You do not put on any airs, you just tell it like it is. Being also a former service member myself, you will appreciate this. Let one of those haters think you're being harsh. Let them go see a drill instructor. I was in the Marine Corps. They don't care if your mommy did not love you enough. No, they don't. You're being nice compared to the way a drill instructor would be. To those people I say, find the person who says life is supposed to be fair and slap them twice for lying to you. In 3 days of watching like 40 plus of your videos, I just started up my eBay thing. You've taught me a great deal, and I hope to get up with you in the coming weeks. Either get my first locker or hit up another auction here in the BX. You be well. P.S. The Captain Morgan story was great. Thank you. This is really, really cool. I got the book, and I heard about the book probably 7 months ago. And I just got around to it, and with my schedule, I just went ahead and went to Audible, got the deal, and I listened to it, and I just finished it up. And I have to say, the prologue is like the beginning of my freaking life. Because listening to the stories, and my suggestion to you, and I'm not being paid for this, I don't know Chris or any of those other guys, but go to Audible, they have a deal, and get the book. It's going to be like, I think $7, $15. Is get the book. Get the audio book. Not the print book, the audio book. And this is why. I've listened to it 3 different times. Each time you listen to it, you're going to pull out something else, another source of inspiration. And the reason I'm recommending this book is, like I said, when I listened to the prologue, I was like, whoa, shit, that's my life. Because I did it with the storage auction business, did it with the storage auction consulting business, now doing it with the hustler mindset. In this life, everything has changed. That whole notion of you'll just get a job and work 20, 30, 40, 50 years and get to go watch, that has been gone. But on the bright side, you can look at having 4, 5, 6, or even 10 different careers. I want you to think about it. If you started a business, and I want you to hear me out, and that business did not cost you a lot of money to start, not like, say, a McDonald's or some other franchise where you're going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars before you make your first penny. And it lasts 4 years, okay? Something happens, the market changes, what you're doing is not working anymore. But you made $200,000 in 4 years. You had an investment of maybe 10 grand. If that was a stock, that would be outrageous returns. Pretty much any investment. So just listening to the book and comparing and contrasting the book to my own experiences, it's just like, I'm like, I can't believe this, because for a long time I considered myself an odd duck. It's like, what do you want to start this business for? What do you want to mess around with eBay? What do you want to do this for? Craigslist. Essentially the read was, if you were hustling, you were unable to get a real job. That was the read. If you were hustling, there was something inherently wrong with you. If you were hustling, you just couldn't cut it. Now, what's really interesting, and this is something else, and this is why I made a vow not to really get into politics this year or to talk to anything. The videos I put up about politics I took down, because the thing is, politics are very polarizing. You just say one thing, people already have dyed in the wool positions already, don't want to hear anything. If you're not speaking what they want to hear, you're stupid. That's how bad it is. And the thing is, you miss a lot of stuff, because the thing is, the one thing with, it's like, the Democratic Party is going to stop business development. When I started my first business, I wasn't thinking of any political party. I've talked to hundreds of entrepreneurs over the years. Not one was thinking of a political party. The number one most overriding concern was, A, they didn't want to work for anyone else. B, they wanted to make some money. That was it. It wasn't like, this guy's in office, I'm not going to start a business. I'm just going to leave the fucking country. Nonsense. It has nothing to do with you. Look at my video, The Hustler Mindset, Producer Consumer. Don't care who's in office. If you're producing something and there are consumers out there, you can make a business of it and you can generate income anywhere from a few $100 on the side to millions of dollars if you're selling the right product in the right market at the right price. Regardless of who's in office. It has nothing to do with you. That's why I want you to get the book. I want you to light a fire under your own ass every day, because the opportunities are endless. I mean, they are sick. But I'm going to rate the book 4.5 stars, because there was like a few things I was like, I don't know. But based on the fact that I'm listening and nodding my head, and I'm listening and I'm nodding my head, listening and nodding my head, what you need to do, if you don't want to buy my information, you don't want to sign up for my webinars, cool. Sign up for someone else's. Do something today so you can start making some money and facilitate change in your life. Building a business, and this is something I know, you don't have to have this extensive business plan. I remember years and years ago, I had a friend, and we talked, and he said, my business plan is so tight. He worked on his business plan for 2.5 years. To compare and contrast, I created another business that is exactly 4 months old, going on 5 months old. And that business already makes more than what he was making per month working a full-time job. It's about looking out what's out there and having enough courage to fail. Because, when I created the Hustle Mindset, I was just like, because I had people on me. It's like, hey, I want a Hustle Mindset channel. I want this. And I was like, fine, I'll just create something. And it's exceeded my expectations. It really has. But the thing is, there was no crazy business plan. I started on Monday. I said, okay, I'm going to create the Hustler Mindset Project on a Monday or a Tuesday. By Wednesday, it was up and I was moving forward. Because that's the thing. If you pull nothing from the $100 start. Take that word start out of there. Because that's the thing. I know it from consulting. I know it from talking to people. The number one problem is people don't start. They think, they plan, they get business cards, they do all this stuff, but they do not freaking start. And that's the thing. And at some point, I'm going to do a webinar, and I'm going to just call it, Let's Get Started. And essentially, you bring your goals, your whatever, and we're going to have a webinar of people who are like, hey, I have a business, and we're just going to talk about getting your stuff started. Some point in the future, look for it. But anyway, on this book, there's so many stories. There's so many ways that people made money. And what's really cool about this, what's really, really cool about the book, it's not online businesses only. It's online businesses, and it's brick and mortar businesses, and it's other opportunities. Some of the things in the book, there's about maybe 12 different business models that in some shape, fashion, or form, I did. Because there's this one story, this guy with the mattresses, and he goes and gets this closed car dealership. I actually brokered a deal where I used their space to sell their stuff and made money with no money spent of my own. And at the end of 6 months, it was a lot of money. It was what most people make in a full-time year. So I made in 6 months what most people make in a year. Didn't spend any money, didn't rent any space, didn't have a business license. I just collected money and made sales. Those opportunities are all around us every day. So I'm encouraging you to get the book. I'm encouraging you to actually get some balls, or if you're a chick, grab your breast until you're like, I am woman, or whatever y'all do to get in that mode, because the future is about to be put on gas and a match is about to be struck. Because this is the thing. We are developing more and more information. In the next 5 years, from this day until 2018, there will be more development, there will be more information than the previous few hundred years that's going to come out in these next 5 years. That's how fast stuff's moving. And with that, it's opportunity for you. Because, if I had to put it, because I get this question, hey, Glenda, what can I do to earn XYZ? What can I do? Get started. Hey, Glenda, I have 1,000,001 ideas. Pick one. If it doesn't work out, take the lessons you learn and move up to another one. And if you have all these ideas, you don't have to throw them away. You know what you do? You get a sheet of paper or a notebook or some kind of journal, and you write down the idea. And then you're like, okay, I've got this idea. I'm going to start on such and such date. I'm going to do X and Y and Z. And the end date for me to either be up and running or have a product or to have the service going is such and such date. That's it. That's the secret to success. That's it. Because you have to get started and you have to keep moving. You just have to keep moving and moving and moving and moving, because the thing is, you get people and they get in this, they're just paralyzed. Paralyzed with indecision and fear. Just totally paralyzed. So instead of watching whatever television show you like, make a commitment to yourself that you're not going to watch that show no more from this day forward until you put into play some things that are going to change your life. Everyone doesn't want money. There are people who, my thing is freedom. People are like, oh, you work a lot and everything, but I get to do what I want to do. You understand? That's a lot of freedom. Right now, there's somebody at a desk or doing something they really, really don't want to do, but because they have to, because they need that job, they're there. I'm sitting here talking to you on YouTube, messing around. And I get to do that as often as I want. I don't have like freedom where I can just run off and, sit in well, actually some days I couldn't, because I revamped my total business plan, because it's to give out better content and to service as many people in the appropriate manner versus just throwing stuff out there like I was. Now, there'll still be a lot of testing. Don't get disturbed, because there will be a lot of testing. You're going to see some crazy stuff here on YouTube, because this is the lab. This is where I put stuff out there, and this is where I experiment. And like, does it work? No. Okay, well, we're not going to do that. But this worked. Okay, how did it work? Why did it work? And why is it continuing to work? You have to test. You have to have this analysis. You have to do this stuff. But I urge you to get the book today, not tomorrow. Go to Audible, sign up. If you have an Amazon account, it's going to be seamless. All you got to do is create a login, and you're in there, and just get the book, The $100 Startup. And then listen to it tonight. You can't listen to the whole thing. It's 9 hours. But listen to it tonight, listen to it in the morning, and just listen to the whole thing throughout the week. Then turn around and immediately start listening to it again. Then next week, turn around and listen to it again. And as you listen, and the thing is, as you're exposed to these ideas, things are going to come up from you. Ideas that you never had. Write them down. One of my favorite tricks, and I do it with my phone, is whenever I have an idea, I hit the voice recorder, whatever the ideal is, then I record it. Then I email it to my main email account. That way, when I log in and get back, there it is. Now, the thing is, with capturing those ideas, you actually create a mechanism that will generate more ideas, because you're not trying to use energy to hold on to that. It's like, I need to remember that. I need to remember. It's like, okay, bam, this is the idea. I'm going to create the hustler mindset. I'm going to do this, do this. That's how I actually got to the hustler mindset. I was out walking, hit the voice recorder, put it in there, and and the thing is, my process is being more refined because I used to just like blah 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 blah. Now it's like this is what I want to do, and I will put in certain stipulations. I would put in metrics and all this, and the voice memos. That's what they're called when I pull them up on iTunes. It used to be 30 seconds now. Now they're like 5 minutes. But I capture that idea when it happens. And I've trained myself to just do it. I don't care who's around. It looks weird. People have looked at me like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm making money, bitch. Because, I mean, seriously, that's when you make the money. When you have the idea is when you make the money. Because until you actually create an idea, nothing happens. The ideal, then the action, the activity, the goals, the metrics, and then actually creating a tangible service or product. It's a process. It's a simple process. But the thing is, what's not simple is getting over narratives that you have in your life of what you should be doing at such and such age. You should be here at such and such age. You should have a house at such and such age. All those are narratives that for some reason, when I came out the baby mill, there's a lot of hard wiring I didn't get. I've really challenged things. I used to piss off Reverend Prescott in church because I'm like, why? Why? That doesn't make any sense to my 11-year-old mouth. I'm in Alabama talking to a preacher. This is not something you're supposed to do. So I was always different. And the thing is, as I grow older, I am really thankful for being different. What used to be a curse is now a blessing because I've always been this way. I've always been a nonconformist pretty much my whole damn life. And, we were labeled rebels and troublemakers. Now we're called entrepreneurs and CEOs. It's amazing how history changes in time. But that's the deal. So get the book, get it tonight, and start working on your future.